Here, we're checking out USA Women 3-on-3. I'm wondering what our next guest thinks of 3-on-3 being an Olympic sport. You were hanging out with our guest yesterday, huh, Drapes?
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with this guy too, man. Because and the guy that taught him golf helped him turn into a great player is my same instructor.
Really?
But it's not clicking with me for some reason.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what's the difference.
Bobby Jackson joining us. Bobby, thanks for being with us. Did you Drapes has been complaining all day long, says he just won striping it yesterday. Did you get any glimpse of Drapes playing yesterday? Any tips for Drapes after yesterday?
No, I just think it's athleticism. He ain't utilizing his athleticism right now.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. You know what, Bobby? I thought you were saying I wasn't athletic, but no, you're saying I'm not using my athleticism. I might be too much in my head. You're not
utilizing your athleticism.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. There's a difference. Bobby, hey, man, we were out at your golf tournament yesterday, Bobby Jackson Foundation golf tournament out at Cache Creek Casino, Yokadihi. A great tournament. Bobby, this is how bad it was. I told this story earlier. I was texting our boy Tom Morton. I said, dude, this is the worst round I've ever played. This was pretty bad. And you and I have played together, so you've seen my form. I was frustrated yesterday, but he said, keep with it. I'm feeling much better today. How did you guys hit it yesterday?
We hit it pretty well, man. We came in like 60. We was like at 61.
Ooh.
So yeah, we played really well. We just missed a lot of birdie putts, which was okay. But I hit the ball extremely well though yesterday.
Bobby, what do you think of this? Drape's team was 2 over.
Yeah, I think we're about 2 over. And I was the best player.
For the foursome?
Yeah.
That ain't good when you're the best player, Drake.
Oh, see, I see how it is. No, I was just off.
You say you struggled. Yesterday. So shit, you gotta have somebody that can
right
hit the ball just as well as you.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. It was a rough day, but a good time, a good cause, great event. It's the off season now. Usually August is a quiet time in the association. Tell me about, what's going on with the Sixers. You guys had a huge offseason. Obviously, Paul George, Andre Drummond, so many good guys. How much are you looking forward to getting back going?
Man, I'm super excited, man. We got a whole new team, right? I think the only person that we brought back was Kelly Oubre. We re-signed Kelly Oubre, but, man, we got a whole different squad. So I'm excited about that. You got Tyrese Maxey, who was an all-star this year, who I think – right, is going to be the pillar of our of the franchise to come. You got Joel, the process, and then you got PG, right? So, with those 3 guys, we're looking to make a big splash come this upcoming season.
Bobby, now that you're a coach, what coaches that you had did you learn the most from? Did you learn things from that now you're imparting to your players?
The crazy thing, man, I try to take a lot from a lot of different coaches. I've had that ability to play under really great coaches, but also, learn from as a coach. So I would say, it always started with Rick, his preparation, his detail, and his ability to incorporate everybody into the offense. And then you got Luke. I think Luke Walton is extremely smart. I worked under Keith Smart, who I think is extremely smart. Been around George Hall's staff. So the list goes on. And now I'm learning from Nick Nurse, who has an NBA championship, and seeing how a different style of basketball and a different style of preparation that you can take to be successful.
Bobby, what can you tell me about, I'm from Philly originally. I know what it's like. What can you tell me about the fan base and the pressure now that comes with it? When you had a guy like Paul George, ain't no more excuses out there in Philly.
No, man. Listen, I can say this about Philly. I don't care what you got or who you got on your team. You better be ready to play every night. It's a blue-collar town, man. And so they just want you to play hard, right? But they are critical when things go bad. And I think that's the only thing about Philly. But they are amazing. It's an amazing fan base that loves their sports, right? And they die-hard fans, from football to hockey, to soccer, to baseball, and now basketball. I think, that town kind of believes its sports, and they love it through thick and thin.
Bobby, nobody knows what it takes to be an effective sixth man any better than you do. So what do you think of the job Malik Monk has done coming off the bench for the Kings, and how significant is it for them that they're bringing him back for this year?
That's a huge re-signing for them. If they lose him, I think he's probably one of the key staples for that offense and that organization. So they needed to take care of him and bring him back on the roster. Competitive guy, extremely talented basketball player, but overall, he's a great person. Possesses athleticism, can shoot it, great dynamic playmaker. So I'm happy that he came back to Sacramento.
What, 11-year NBA vet, Bobby Jackson, joining us here on The Drive, guys. Bobby, you've been in all kinds of situations. The Kings just signed a guy like DeMar DeRozan, future Hall of Famer, 23,000 career points, 24 points per game last season. How difficult is it to welcome in a star player to a franchise? Is it on the star player to sort of try and fit his way in, or is it for the other guys? And you guys will face this year too with Paul George. Who's it on to make sure this all works?
Oh man, I think it'll be fine. I think Paul is such a great pro and a great scorer. He's going to take some of the pressure off Tyrese, and he's going to take some of the pressure off Joel, like is vice versa. So I think his ability to fit in is going to be just natural, because he's just a pure natural scorer, right? And I think we just got to figure out how to utilize his skills and his talent to make Joel and Tyrese, but everybody else better around that's on the team.
Bobby, you, of course, were here during the glory years when the Kings nearly got to the finals, and you were also here when things were not going as well. So over the last couple of years, how is the Kings standing around the league, and how relevant they've been? How has it improved over the last couple of years since Mike Brown has been here?
I think Mike has done a phenomenal job. We're putting the right pieces together as far as Monty as well and Lex. So, I think they're in a tough Western Conference, but I think adding DeMar kind of gives them another bona fide third scorer that they've been missing. So I think he's going to help take some of the pressure off Fox, and he's going to take some of the pressure off Sabonis. And he's been doing it for a long time, and he's just a bona fide scorer in the league.
Yeah, Bobby Jackson joining us. Bobby, you played with Doug Christie. When you guys were teaming up, could you envision yourselves being coaches, after your playing career was done? Is that something you guys talked about or thought about? Did you envision that?
Yeah, I think we both wanted to coach. I think I wanted to coach a little bit more, and I knew that coaching was on my radar probably about year 8, 9, start making those preparations to move forth to becoming a coach and a head coach one of these days or one of these years to come in the future.
Bobby, we know that players on a team obviously have to learn to play together and fit together. Is it that way on a coaching staff? I mean, do coaches have to fit together and kind of complement each other in terms of how they're giving the best instruction to the players?
You do. I think the process with coaches is just the same it's a little different than players. I think everybody knows the game. Now it's just what's best for the team. We all got great ideas. We all got great practice routines and skill development and ability to coach at a high level. We just got to be able to put all that together. And I think, just taking each other's coaching style and implementing it and making sure that it succeeds once we step into practice on the first day of training camp.
Bobby, you played in the Western Conference when it was loaded. Teams were going at it. I'm looking at the West right now. No offense to the East and what the Sixers have going on. What do you make of the West and the difference in the two conferences right now?
Man, the West has always been tough, right? I think with Boston from the East, and then, I think we're a top 1 or 2 or 3 team in the league just on paper, but I think we will be really, really good once the season starts. But the West has always been tough, man, right? It's been loaded since we played, right? And I think the ability to maximize that, but also I think the Kings in a much tougher conference than we are, but, the East is coming up just as well, right? We just got to figure out how to stay healthy, continue to build our team camaraderie, but also just go out and compete at a high level every single night.
Bobby, I wanted to ask you about 3-on-3 in the Olympics, and I have nothing but respect for the athletes, and they're phenomenal. But, you know, to me, 3-on-3 is what you play when you don't have a full court or you don't have enough people. And so I'm just a little confused why in the Olympics it's 3-on-3. I'm just wondering how you feel about that.
It's basketball, man.
Yeah.
Right? I think at the end of the day, right, it's not 5-on-5, but it's 3-on-3, right? The court is much bigger. You got much more space to operate and create.
Yeah.
Play and pace, right? So the 3-on-3 is a unique skill and a unique opportunity for those skilled individual players to take advantage of all that space that they can utilize.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're watching it right now. USA against Germany. USA down by 1. They just got an and 1. Bobby, you know, during your playing days, you know, we know about the battles with the Lakers. Which players did you most look forward to going against when you were playing?
Without doubt, Kobe Bryant. Right, he just brought the best out of you every single night. And right, his competitive drive, his competitive edge, his competitive spirit. Right, it was there for 48 minutes, or how much he was on the floor. Right, and you always want to play against the best, and he was the best to do it. But he backed it up every single night.
Did he talk to during the game? Was he a talker when you played against him?
No, he wasn't. He didn't talk a lot.
Okay.
He just had that Mamba mindset where nothing affected him, right? And he felt like he was the best player on the floor. So it was the reason why they won. He's won 5 NBA championships and had that ability to be successful throughout his career.
Who was the biggest talker? Was GP maybe the biggest talker?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. GP, if you watch the Big Three, he's talking. He's the coach now.
I heard he almost got into a fight or something like that this week.
Man, he is getting into fights. He's talking trash, and that's how he was as a player. And it hasn't stopped since he's retired, and now he's coaching. So that's just GP. GP is one of the greatest players to ever play, but he was one of the greatest players to ever talk, but also back it up on the floor.
Bobby, my final question for you, man. I know you're coaching the Sixers. You're out there in Philly, but you're back home now. What is it about Sacramento, man, that you still keep the house here? You here for some time now, the next month or so. What is it about this area that keeps you coming back and you love it so much?
Man, I moved here in 2000. So, yeah, you know, this is home for me, right? I've been here longer than I have been in North Carolina. So Sac has been great to me. I still got a lot of friends here. My kids were born here. So it's just a great community just to raise a family, but also be around families and friends. And so the community has been nothing but great to me. And that's why I love Sacramento, because it's a great town, a great city, great everything that's going on in Sacramento. And I wish nothing but success for the Sacramento Kings, because that's, you know, I played here for 6-7 years, and I had a lot of great time, and I coached here. So, you know, it's just home for me.
Bobby, we appreciate your time very much. I know you're busy these days, especially after your tournament. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right, bro. Thanks, man. Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, good stuff right there. Man, that dude can smack the ball.
Really?
Like, yes. Like, golf-wise, like, he talks about athletic, like, his swing, he rips through it. Me, I'm all up in the head, you know, trying to finesse it, and you can't do that with golf.
Was he maybe the best player out there of what you saw yesterday? Anybody else?
No, he could hit it. No, there was a guy behind us. You know, it takes us 2 to get within 100. This guy's hitting it like on the back of us, like 330. I'm like, dude, we ain't even on the green yet. Slow down. There were some big hitters out there yesterday.
When we come back, tell you about guy in an NFL training camp. He might be the most interesting person in any training camp, and he might just be a big weirdo. You make the call next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is